We're coming to you live from all over the place with an exciting lineup of toy talk, banter, and maybe even a little bit of mischief. Joining me today are my fellow Toy Boys, Jared, Eric, and Avery. I'm Chad, and maybe we'll get Chris here in a little bit if we can get him to wake up. Toy Boys, assemble. Now, we got a Babylon 5 shirt, is what we're talking about here, right?
Yes.
All right, so I guess I need some details. So I've never watched Babylon 5, and I think it's on like Discovery Plus. I just saw it on there, and I was thinking about streaming it for the first time. As a kid, I always stayed away from it because it seemed like a cheaper version of Deep Space Nine, but I've heard that it might even be better. So, hot takes. I'm ready for all the Babylon 5 hot takes. What say you, gentlemen?
You want to go first, Chris, or you want me to go?
Oh, Eric?
I mean, Eric.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Uh, I'll just share a little bit of my personal history with it. I'd actually heard that the creator of Babylon 5 pitched his idea to Paramount and was rejected. And then a lot of his ideas showed up in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
So you could kind of debate which is better or worse or what. I mean, Star Trek, I think, always had a certain polish to the writing and the acting that definitely I would say make it better than Babylon 5, but Babylon 5 had the 5-year story arc, which at the time was revolutionary. And basically, he wrote it like a book for television. So he had it all mapped out from the beginning, and as opposed to other shows that were kind of making things up as they went along. And that's really what makes Babylon 5 pretty special for me. What do you think, Avery?
So I will add to Chris. I mean, dang it. I'm like a parent calling the kids all the wrong names.
You sound like my mom right now.
I will add to Eric what Eric has to say. So, first off, Babylon 5, I remember seeing the TV pilot first. I think it came out in 93 or early 94. Deep Space Nine came out in 93. Babylon 5, the show, came out in 94. And at one point for me in Richmond, Virginia, both shows came on the same channel, which was Fox.
Yep.
Babylon 5 used to come on at noon. They used to have a sci-fi action block that they actually, if you look at some of the comic books from the time, it was Babylon 5, then it was Time Tracks, then it was Babylon 5 Time Tracks, Convoluted Legend Continues, and then it was Renegade, and then Highlander, and then Deep Space Nine would come on at 6 or 7.
Oh, nice.
But then after the first year of Babylon 5 season one, it disappeared and went to an obscure channel that I had to find to watch it, seasons 2, 3, and 4. And then the fifth season went to TNT. But that segues into what Chris says. I mean, damn it. That segues into what Eric says. I don't know why I keep doing that.
A
I'm
lot
not.
of outtakes in this episode here.
So basically, I went to Dragon Con in 2019 and I went to a Babylon 5 panel. And pure Fivers or B5ers, Babylon 5 fans hate Deep Space Nine with a passion. And I'm like, why y'all hating on Deep Space Nine? They were told me the story that Eric said about the show being stolen by Paramount. And I'm like, that's not true. They wouldn't do that. Well, someone provided me with the video. You can find it on YouTube. J. Michael Krasinski, the creator of Babylon 5, who also has written on Spider-Man and some comics, he pitched Babylon 5 to Paramount first, and they rejected it. And to Eric's point, it was a whole insulated storyline from start to finish, not making up as you go. So he must have pitched that. The higher ups of Paramount took some of that and injected it in the Deep Space Nine down to Michael Piller and them. I don't know how much, but there are some similarities. If you watch both shows, space stations, the main character dies and resurrects or some type of deity and is seen as a deity, Captain Cisco, Captain Sheridan. So
Many,
anyway, he
many.
had enough proof that he was going to sue Paramount, but his lawyer advised against it because had he went through with the lawsuit, they would have canceled both shows.
Mm.
So later on, he didn't do that. He was at a industry party, and Renee Odo, I don't want to botch his last name, and
Oh,
Armin
Armin
Zimmerman,
Zimmerman. Yeah.
yeah, came up to him and they said, "Hey, we know what happened with your show. We want to let you know that we at Deep Space Nine support you, and we're just actors. We didn't have nothing against that, but we know what happened and know that we don't think that's cool. But we want to let you know, please don't have any beef toward us. Basically, kind of as like a peace offering. They acknowledged that the high politics, tomfoolery had taken place, and just as kind of like a olive branch to him. And I also think that's another reason why Major Roddenberry was on the show quite a few times to help smooth things over.
Yeah, they had quite a few Trek actors. I know
Yeah.
Yeah,
had a
Walter.
pretty decent role on that. Yeah.
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 So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it. But
But it's a great show.
yeah.
A great show.
Yeah, and I know I see the toy. I'm pretty sure Playmates also had the license for the Babylon 5 toys, didn't they? I just remember seeing them at toy shows and the packaging and the size and the scale and everything was really similar to all the Star Trek toys. I've seen lots of Star Trek toys sold. Oh, is that Babylon 5?
Where
No.
did you get that, Eric? I didn't know they made those for Babylon 5. I got the
Michael.
Star Trek ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
They made like yeah, look at all these on the back, all these ships.
Oh, so they made a few waves. Oh, wow, that's really
yeah,
cool.
there's 6 3-packs they came out with.
That's
Oh,
really
another
Nice.
important thing I wanted to add too, Paramount played dirty. So back in the 90s, it was kind of like the Wild Wild West with the TV channels. So like you'd have a Fox, but it was a Fox affiliate owned by like an independent person. After the first season, Paramount was going to the other stations and telling them, "Hey, don't pick that show up, Babylon 5. You can pick up Deep Space Nine, but don't pick up Babylon 5."
oh,
Oh,
that's
So they
interesting.
were basically, I don't know if that's illegal or illicit to do that, but they were doing
yeah,
that to Babylon 5. And
that's
when
messed
I
up.
heard that story, I was like, well, no wonder why Babylon 5 disappeared off of Fox for me. It ended
Yeah,
up on some obscure channel
yeah.
from
Yeah.
the seasons on until it went to TNT or TBS for the fifth season.
I
And I
got
didn't get to see the fifth season because I didn't have cable growing up. So
you. That's rough, but man, I don't know. It's crazy. There's a lot of history there for sure. A lot of similarities between the two. I'm looking forward to watching it. But we've got some commenters here in the section in our live video here. We got our millions and millions of fans joining us here today. We got some folks talking about the new Nacelle Toys license for Star Trek figures, and I know we posted some wish lists out there. And I don't know if you guys saw the poll that Nacelle posted where to ab crunch or not to ab crunch? Do we ab crunch? Do we not ab crunch? I know I feel like it was a pretty even poll. I think people mostly favored no ab crunch. I'm really more of I would kind of like ab crunch if there was like a captain's chair that they could sit in. You know what I mean? How do you guys feel about it in general with ab crunch on figures?
I'm a little
well, first of
indifferent
all,
to
I'm
it, I
like,
guess.
what is that?
With
Oh, so ab crunch, Avery, is where like it's just a articulation that they put into like the abdomen of the figure. So like,
Oh,
it will bend kind of not so much at the waist, but at the diaphragm a little bit, or in the middle of the kind of the stomach. So like when you seat them, they look a little easier. It sits a little better. So what were you saying? Yeah, there you go. That's a very
okay.
Eric is just ready with all of the examples of everything we need.
I
That's
got
what.
all the toys at my fingertips here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So when Nacelle started when they announced their biker mice from Mars line, um, yeah, I think it didn't originally have ab crunch, and there was like this huge, just all these people online. We want ab crunch for these biker mice, and we want to have the bikes. And Nacelle was like, "Oh, okay, hold on, let's pivot here a little bit. They want the ab crunch. We're going to have the ab crunch." And then they made sure. I just saw a picture that Brian Volk-Weiss posted. I think it was yesterday, and he had like the bikes, the motorcycles for the mice, and they're all packaged up in these really nice looking boxes from the cell. So it was really cool to see. But the question was, do we want those on Star Trek figures? I think mostly the poll kind of leaned towards no. But I was just curious as to what you guys thought. So Eric, I know you have some figures with ab crunching it up. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I really haven't paid too much attention to it, I guess because most of the way I pose my figures doesn't really rely on it. I mean, they're not normally sitting down. They're maybe, in these action poses. They're not doing sit-ups or anything. So I don't really I've never really cared one way or the other, and I think on a Star Trek uniformed figure, and have a cleaner presentation, to not have that cutout, in the middle, right in the middle of the abdomen,
Yeah,
area, could
yeah.
look kind of funky. So I guess I'd say they could leave it out, and I'd be fine with it.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I have a strong preference either way. I do think it is a little weird, or it's just like it's kind of cut all of a sudden right in the middle. But Jared, did you I think
I
I saw Aaron comment on that poll. Did you and that's by the way, that's our producer, Aaron, Jared's wife, who does all the work behind the scenes, including setting us up today with this live meeting for our YouTube for our millions and millions of fans. So thanks, Aaron, as always, for all of the work. So Jared, how are you feeling about the ad crunch situation?
Yeah, I'm of the belief that if they're going to make items that they can be a part of like the set, so like the captain's chair or like ops or something, I want them to sit naturally and not have that action figure like, sort of weirdness to it. But if they are not going to, I do like that cleaner torso look, especially if
Sure.
they're, standing on the stand, stuff like that. So
Sure. Makes total sense. Yeah, again, I'm thinking about like I really want a Captain Jellicoe figure, right? So like, do I want it with that ab crunch kind of right in the middle? Like it kind of there's almost like a separation there that kind of interrupts the streamlined uniform look. So I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, I'm kind of cool with whatever they come up with,
Let me show you this.
personally. So Avery, yeah.
On this,
Oh, just kind of that straight. Oh, is that?
uh,
Oh, that's you can barely see that
Ezra.
actually
is that
on
like slightly hidden away behind the belt?
yeah, the
behind the
vest kind
jacket.
of hides it, or jacket, but it's also
Yeah.
Oh
like
yeah.
line straight across, whereas the other one I showed you was like this weird kind of cut
Yes. Yeah.
out thing. So I
Yeah.
mean, if it was
Yeah.
done like this, more subtle, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
What brand made that figure? Was that the Hasbro?
This is the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Ezra Bridger from Rebels.
Yeah. Well, if
Yes.
we know that Brian Volkwise had specifically mentioned that when he was referring to the scale of the figures that he wanted to create, and he's like those Black Series and those GI Joe classifieds are kind of like the industry standards right now. So maybe that is a little bit more what he was thinking of when he said ab crunch. Maybe it is a little bit more streamlined into the figure so that you can seat your figure and it doesn't look so awkward. Because I agree with Jared, like if you want to have like opposing, Captain Picard, whoever in their seat, you want it to be able to look good. And if ab crunch is going to help, then I'm all about it. I'm going to go to the comments real quick and see what our millions and millions of fans are saying about it out there. I know we had some folks who were looking forward to ab crunch. Um, Oh, we got Brian in here. Hey, Brian, welcome. Brian, all the way from Kuwait, is watching us right now. So thanks for joining us. And he's got some comments about Babylon 5. A lot of Trek alumni in Babylon 5, including Jeffrey, of course, Jeffrey Combs. In Babylon 5, he probably played 50, 60 characters in Babylon 5.
I don't
And
remember him there. I'm gonna have to figure out what episode that
Yeah,
was.
what character was he, I wonder?
Yeah, I don't remember him in that either. We need our fact checker here.
oh yeah, well, what's funny is that in a lot of ways, Brian is a fact checker for Star Trek Watch Party. So if he's in here getting stuff wrong, then I don't know. We might need to vet this guy and just make sure that he's not a changeling. Oh my God, wait a minute. Maybe it's Jeffrey Combs pretending to be Brian in the chat. So right now, Jeff Combs is playing Brian. So that's my personal theory. And we got B Giles in here who has interacted a lot with us on social media, especially when it comes to the Nacelle Star Trek figures, saying the Nacelle ab crunch doesn't have as obvious a seam as that kind of first figure that you showed. So
Nice.
I mean, hopeful. I mean, that's great. That's great news to see it'll be a little bit more seamless and we're looking good there. So I mean, real quick before we kind of move on from that, I know we posted a couple of wish lists, but anybody out there really looking forward to any specific figures from Nacelle when it comes to that Star Trek line? Avery, I don't think we got to have that conversation with you. So any figures you're kind of hoping for from Nacelle specifically?
Well, I did the episode when they showed like Rachel Garrett and the Jellicoe and all of that. When we talked about that about 2 months ago,
Oh
maybe 3
yeah.
months ago.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
So I've been so in tune with work. I really haven't paid attention to toys. Anything that's new and not a retread from whether it's Playmates or any other thing that came out, just something new and different. And I was happy with what I saw from the Cell Company when we did the preview a couple of months ago.
Definitely.
That they
Yeah.
did some deep cuts. I was happy, like, hey, it's different. So if they continue along that path, I'm okay. I won't be like, oh, how dare they bring this certain figure out. I'll be cool, copacetic with it.
Yeah, agreed. I don't know if I was crazy. I just when I started making my list, I put at least like 50 plus figures on my wish list. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was out of control. My post was out of control. I was out of line. I need to calm down. But one of the slides that I put together was it would be nice to see like that whole DS9 crew from Take Me Out to the Hollow Suites like in their baseball uniforms. I mean, call me crazy.
Mm.
But I was just like, it would be nice. I feel like that would be an amazing display. You know, they all come with a ball, they all come with a bat, they all come with a glove, whatever the situation might be that really kind of fits that episode. I think it would just be beautiful. And I was also thinking the same thing for Bada Bing, Bada Bang, kind of like, you know, you get your tuxedos and you get your everything that looks really good, kind of that Ocean's 11 vibe for Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And then I was also thinking our man Bashir, kind of the same vibe with the tuxedos and everything of how everyone appeared. So I don't know. And then Cisco was Dr. Noah when he's like, but you must demolish the house, and he's like screaming. I don't know. In my mind, I'm thinking like what would look good displayed together as kind of groups, you know, when it comes to the cast. So yes, obviously I want the figures in their original uniforms so they can be displayed how we see them, but you know, kind of some of those obscure things too. I don't know.
Well, since you
Maybe
said
I
that,
got a few.
oh, go ahead, Eric.
Oh,
You
yeah,
go
I never
first.
got to post my list actually. You want to hear a couple of
yeah,
my?
go ahead. Yeah,
Of
yeah,
course,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Go right ahead. Please, yeah, man.
I found the list here on my computer.
Nice.
So first one was Q Mariachi Band Alt Deco from the TNG episode where he believe when he makes Data human at the very last few seconds of the episode, and
When he made
that
him
one,
laugh.
Makes them laugh.
yeah,
Yeah.
makes
Makes him
That
laugh.
was when Q
laugh.
Yeah.
got turned back into Q from being human.
Yeah,
Right,
Q,
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
Q
he was
who? Yeah,
celebrating that he got his powers back, so he brought out the mariachi band
yeah.
and everything. I would love to see a
Corbin Burnson, right? You're talking about the one that Corbin Burnson plays, the Q Corbin Burnson plays. Is that who you're talking about? Or are you talking about the mariachi band?
No, I want to see Q in the mariachi band costume.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. I got you. That's
leave
fun.
his sombrero and trumpet accessories, of course.
Agreed. Agreed. I can see
But
that.
a couple others like Vash and Picard, Ryza 2-pack.
Oh, that'd
Nice.
be a good idea. Yeah.
Captain's Holiday 2-pack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'd love to have a Vic Fontaine figure,
For sure.
which maybe, some reuse of the tuxedo mold. That way you and I can both be happy.
Big Fontaine with Ab Crunch. Yeah, yeah. The best is yet to come. Anyway, my bad.
I would love to see, I believe his name was Adam from the TOS episode Stepping into Eden. He was that musician that was the one where Spock
Yes.
like kind of one of those hippie bands
Yeah.
or something that Spock joins
The
them.
Way to Eden, right? Is the name of the episode?
Yeah,
Yeah, The
yeah.
Way to Eden. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, the song Stepping into Eden is what they were singing.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I thought it'd be cool to have a Commodore Matt Decker Doomsday Machine figure with an
That's a
alternate
good one.
That is a good one.
freaking out head sculpt. Because
So like a regular head sculpt, and then like the pale, sweating, screaming, freaking out. Like yes,
deranged. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
They say that. What does he say? He's like, they say there's no devil, but right out of hell I saw it, and I was like, I remember watching that as a kid. Like, oh my god, what is this guy talking about? This guy's going
There
crazy.
is no third planet. There was, but not before. Don't you think I know that? 400 of them.
Oh man, and what
I
else?
saw it.
Well, it's more of a question. Has Exo 6 come out with a Jem'Hadar figure, or are there any?
No. I don't
No.
even think they've announced the Jim Hadar figure yet. They're kind of behind on the Deep Space Nine line just in terms of pumping figures out, but I don't even think we've seen a prototype for Jim Hadar that I can think of. Maybe the rendering, like of maybe a rendering or something, but we've never seen a prototype or anything from a Jim Hadar that I can think of.
Because I would totally be into that. I mean, Trek doesn't really have that many troop builder opportunities, you
Yeah,
know. I
yeah.
guess random Klingons you could have or whatever, but I think
Yep.
a you know, like a Jem'Hadar 3-pack or something
I
with
was
different
just thinking that that might be great in a two pack as like an army builder, and then if it had a couple of alternate accessories or heads so that you could truly
Mhm.
have several different Jim Hadar that you could put together, that would actually be pretty amazing. So you have like a whole little,
Make
a
sure they
little.
have the first.
Yeah, yeah. And then also little like Tetracell white things you could like little
Mhm.
tubules you can put in the thing. That'd
It's the tiniest
yeah,
little
just like
tubule, and you're
uh,
just injecting your Jim Hadar with drugs, is what Jared wants. He wants your toys to be
they
addicted.
must be obedient, so you have to
Yeah.
keep them in line
Obedience
here.
is life. Toys.
Victory is
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Imagine like if life was Toy Story and they came to life at night and they were just like, oh man, I gotta get that white. I'm just gonna
Uh,
That's dark, Jared. I don't know. I don't want to give my toys drugs, but I mean, I like where your head's at though, in terms of
Man, you had
playability.
an Indian in the
Yeah.
cupboard moment.
In terms
well,
of playability, though, it's a good idea. Eric, what else did you have on your list?
That's about it.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't want to
Good,
get too
good,
greedy.
good.
No.
Yeah, I know. Like me with my 50 plus figures, I was greedy. And Desi pointed out, it's funny, Desi, I wasn't necessarily doing this on purpose, but it kind of happened that way, and I did notice that too. Was that when I was putting my list together, it was very heavy on Black and African American characters. Captain Terrell from The Wrath of Khan, Geordie's mother, Geordie's father, and also, Geordie's mother was played by oh my gosh, I just forgot her name. I can't believe I forgot her name. That's gonna drive me nuts until I can remember it. Who also played the captain of the Saratoga in Star Trek 4. So I put both of those. I want both of those on my list. Or how Brock Peters played both Admiral Cartwright and Cisco's father. I had both of those on my list just because
Well,
I
yeah.
know, I know how ridiculous that is, but I want both. I want to
They're
see
gonna sculpt the
Admiral
head. Why not use it twice?
Exactly. Why
yeah,
not use
yeah.
it? Eric, you're a G. You need to work for Nacelle. We need to get you a job. That's why you have all these props around you right now. You got them ready to go because you're ready to work for a toy store, a toy
One of my
company.
biggest complaints from NECA was when they had the Rocky figures and they had Carl Weathers' likeness
Yeah.
for Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
They were also doing the Predator figures at the same time. I was
And
like,
they
why do
didn't
you
release.
not have a Dutch or not a
Yeah.
Dutch? Whatever Carl Weathers' character name.
Yeah.
Why did we not get? I mean, did he not want his character from one movie done, but he was okay with the other? It just didn't make any sense to me.
That is a good question.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
It's like
and
they already
thankfully,
spent the money on the head sculpt.
yeah.
100%.
They want to reuse it as much as possible.
In classic Jared's wife Erin coming through, our producer, saying that Madge Sinclair was the name, reminding me of the name Madge Sinclair, played Geordie's mother and also played the captain of the Saratoga at the beginning of Star Trek 4. And Desi, she keeps pointing this one out, and this one keeps slipping my mind, but it's such an iconic character. The punk from the bus in Star Trek 4. We need that so bad.
Kirk
We need
Thatcher.
Yes, Kirk Thatcher, the guy who plays Kirk Thatcher. Yeah, we need him with his boombox. We need the
Yep.
mohawk. We need the everything. So
Of
I
course,
also feel
Desi
like
would
he
say
should
that
have a
Uh,
she dressed
weapon.
up as him.
Ultimate,
a middle
Oh,
finger
ultimate,
sculpt.
what were we saying,
ultimate
Avery?
hand with the middle finger.
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah.
No,
Uh,
all I was saying was, of course, Des would say that because she cosplayed as
she
him.
has that cosplay, and it's perfect. She has a perfect punk rock bus guy cosplay. Did you guys? And I've mentioned this
He
a
was
bunch.
in Picard too, as the same character,
Yes, and Picard is the same character. He
and he wrote the
actually
song.
He
The
wrote
actor
the
did.
song. Yeah, actually, yeah, he wrote the song too. He actually kind of reprised the role unofficially in one of the Spider-Man movies too. I don't know if you know that, where he
Oh,
walks up to like a hot dog vendor. It's him, He's basically the same dude and everything. He's the same guy, the same actor, and he's kind of unofficially reprising that role in one of I don't remember which Spider-Man movie. It might have been, I don't think it was No Way Home, but it was one of the newer Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland. I'm sure we could get research on that to back me up. We
Oh yeah,
definitely need Tony Todd as Old Man Jake, says B. Giles, and I 100% agree. I would love to see Tony Todd as Kern and Tony Todd as
Yes.
Old Jake. 100% obsessed with that episode. Even though,
Oh,
I mean, it make Niagara Falls, Frankie Angel, it makes me instantly burst into tears um every time I watch my brain is blocking it out now because it's so depressing. The Visitor with Old Man Jake. But yeah, man, for sure. I agree 100% for
oh, I
sure.
had some. If they did some Chaotica Captain Proton figures,
Oh, that would
Yeah,
be
that would be cool.
that's again like we
and
were talking about this
maybe do,
morning. Agree,
black and
man.
white.
Black and white. Yeah.
Yes.
do some end game from the last episode, like the future Janeway and
Future
stuff.
Janeway. Yeah.
And
Playmates did make a Future Janeway, but it was like very limited edition. It was like a Toy Fair exclusive, I think.
oh wow.
Yeah. So and I have it. It's just it was one of those that was hard to come by back in the day.
How
Unless
about
I'm lying. I think I just lied to you. I'm almost positive I just lied to you guys. What I'm thinking of is the Janeway that they made for the movie, the episode Flashback with Tuvok, where we see Janeway in the Monster Maroon. That I'm pretty sure that's the Janeway. I think I'm just confusing those two. My bad. That's
Yeah.
my old brain just doing old brain things.
Oh, maybe a Malon outfit, the guys that were polluting the space.
That'd be
Elon would be
good.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, and the Zindi from Enterprise.
All of the
all of them?
subspecies of
Yes.
Zindies. Yeah.
Mhm. The
Got a box
aquatics, the
of that.
reptilians, the arbor,
Oh, like
arbors.
weren't there 5 of them? Like a 5-pack would
Yeah,
just
there's like aquatic and insectoid and
and
One of them's gonna have to come in like a cube full of water.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
oh, like a tank. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at that point, might as well throw in the cetacean ops,
Oh, the dolphins. Yeah.
Yeah.
The very randy dolphins from Lower Decks. God, those things are uncomfortable. Somebody suggested, and maybe this could come in like an accessory pack or something. All the pets from Star Trek, so like Spots, and
Orthos.
Livingston for sure. We would need Livingston in his tank, right, in his fish tank. So like all the animals of Trek in an accessory pack would be pretty cool.
That fish should come with Jellicoe. This is an inside joke.
Get
Get that fish out of the red room.
that fish out of my ready room. Yeah. He did not like fish. He did not like Deanna Troy's outfits. He did not like his kids' drawings, I think.
Yeah.
I
Well,
remember
he
when
showed
he
it.
mentioned his kids' drawings, I was like, in my head, I was like, aren't you a little too old to have kids who are drawing anyway? Like, shouldn't your kids be like in college? But maybe that was just me being, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Your kids should be in college right now. They should be at the academy learning how to be a nicer captain than you are. But
Well, I just remember him being
24th century. In the 24th century, I'm sure, they found new ways to extend
oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
That makes
sense.
sense. Yeah. Jellicoe's probably the kind of guy who has a wife who's like 25 anyway. That you know what I mean? He's just inappropriate. He's just not a good guy. Anyway. So speaking of Star Trek stuff, while we're here on the subject, mine has not yet arrived. It's been sitting in LA for well, I don't know, a while now, but my XO6 Star Trek Picard figure is out there and it's coming. I got the kind of standard edition, meaning that it's going to come with a regular TNG uniform, but it's also going to come with that jacket that Picard wears, like you see it in Darmok, you see it in several episodes, I think starting in season 5 or so. I think we see him wear it quite a bit, and so it's on the way. Did anybody else happen to order it? I don't even remember if Chris ordered it or not because he already has the one from QMX.
I don't think I
Yeah.
ordered it because that was the order where they had 3 Picards come out at once.
Yes.
I was
Yeah,
like,
I didn't order it either. And I thought Chris mentioned that he did not or was not going to.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm remembering it too. See if I could just pull up some lovely photos here since I don't have mine to show off. Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, now I'm definitely remember. It must be on what do you call it? Uh instant purchase right now because it looks like it adds a cart. So I'm gonna share my screen real quick just so we can see what we're talking about here real quick. Like, so you guys seeing this right, Shia?
Yep, there it is.
So we got some. So what? I mean, first off, uniform looks great, right? But look
Yes.
at just the jacket is absolutely insane. Looks fantastic. I can't. That's how I'm going to display it personally, is with that jacket and shirt, just because it's a look that's unique to Picard.
Hmm.
So when you display him with other TNG figures, it'll kind of stand out a little bit.
Just
Because
the way Patrick Stewart wanted it.
yes, actually the way he was more comfortable that way because of how uncomfortable his tunic was. And just the accessories on this thing are out of control. You got a pad, you got the Earl Grey tea, which I'm gonna guess is hot. You've got the Resican flute, which I'm gonna tell you guys a story real quick about Resican flute that I always tell in watch party is that one day I could not remember the exact name of the flute. Could not remember. So I went to Google it, and instead of typing in Resican, because I couldn't remember, I typed in what I remembered to be close to Resican, and I typed in like reskin. And Google said, "Did you mean skin flute?" And I definitely did not mean that at all. Not even close. So
It
just be
moisturizes its skin.
Do this on
Puts lotion on its skin. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So just be careful what you're Googling out there, people. But the phaser with the holster looks great, tricorder. And then, of course, can't forget that. Can't forget if you're
Yep.
ever in the Jamal Horan mood, don't forget your Horan statue. And then, of course, some extra hands
Wow.
for doing hand stuff. I'm gonna guess this is a flute hand right here, looking like kind of a deal. And then this was one of the things that kind of sold me on it for sure was Captain Picard Day banner is just amazing.
Yeah, I agree. When I saw that, I was like, that is a cool, nice touch that they did there.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Nog signed this thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
you got Mock over here, little old Mock. I'm pretty sure that what is that Zeus? All kind of crazy. Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, so I'm really excited about that to come in. Obviously, we'll have to ask Chris if he's got. And then we've got Savick just arrived. The Savick figure was incredible. Um, And then they also announced Star Trek 6 figures, which are coming out. We got General Chang on the way. We got Captain Sulu that's already up on pre-order. We got a Valeris that's coming. So a lot of really fantastic things coming from XO6. Any kind of toys that you guys have been seeing popping up that recently announced that you're interested in? Something that's caught your eye? Anything? Maybe Eric?
Nothing's really jumping out. Putting me on the spot here a little
Oh,
bit.
my bad. We could put other people on the spot. I was just curious.
Yeah, I'll pass on that one and come back to me.
Sure. So Avery, I know you just said you had been really focused on work lately. I mean, but anything in the toy world that's popped out to you that you're thinking about, I got to get that, I got to order that, I got to pre-order that, I got to de-order that.
Well, EXL did a quick Cage Spock like a couple of weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. It was like a real quick run, and I snatched one.
Yes, it was a limited edition run. That's actually great to bring up.
I don't know
Limited
if it was
edition
yeah, I
run.
don't know if it was a cage or menagerie or it was the cage.
It was
I
a
was like, that
cage.
spot looks dope, and I got it.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm
what's
Yeah.
interesting,
Who makes that?
yeah,
XO6.
EXL.
Oh, okay.
What's interesting, I can pull the photos of that too because I want you guys to see. This is, I was the same way. It was kind of a quick and dirty, like maybe they're trying to test out the market or something because there was no warning about this. It just all of a sudden was up for pre-order, and they limited this to 500 figures, right? So
Oh,
very
wow.
limited. And this is the Cage Spock from XO6. So this is a 1/6 scale Star Trek figure. This is Spock from the Cage.
when Spock talk loud.
Yeah, when he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, the women is always one of my favorite line where he just screams out the women when they disappear. But yeah, I mean, just all the accessories you could possibly want. He's got the away
Wow.
team jacket, the away team get up here. He's got that laser in his hand right there. Amazing looking figure. Just looks fantastic. Limited to 500. I also got one too, Avery. The communicator as well, right there. You can see. Just looks fantastic. I appreciate you bringing that one up because this one slipped my mind.
That is impressive. I haven't seen these before.
Well,
No,
this was
it
yeah,
was like a quick thing. Like they
yeah,
popped it up, and I was like, "Oh, this don't look like this is gonna last long." So as soon
no,
as it popped up, I I put it in for pre-order.
yeah.
Nice.
I will tell you that they got me with the gimmick. So it popped up, and I was like, man, that's beautiful. I like it. I want it. Do I want another Spock on top of a Spock with another Spock? But I was like, you know what? These pre-order things are always open for 2 weeks. I don't need to decide right this minute. But then when I saw limited to 500 quantity, I said, never mind. I'm buying this instantly because I'm not gonna miss out on this. You know what I mean? I'm
Paying
not
for.
gonna regret. Yeah.
Definitely created that sense of urgency there. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. But that's just who I am as a person.
Oh, to answer your question some more as regards to toys, one, I'm a little semi disappointed in NECA. They posted all their images of all their toys for the 12 days of Christmas.
Yes.
And there hasn't really been any new Predator stuff since the few Prey stuff that they brought out during Comic-Con and also Haulathon.
Yeah.
Also, I went on Target today, and some of the Ninja Turtle stuff from Haulathon are on the website.
Yeah.
So I'm about to get the 4-pack from the reason why I'm getting the 4-pack is nostalgia. I used to read the Archie comics, so
Yeah.
the wrestling Archie comics, but the rest of the Archie comics characters that they had and some of the Mirage stuff, I haven't. It's not everything that was at Haulathon, but the Curai, is that her name? Karari, that figures on there, and it was like another Mirage character or two, or Archie comics characters that I was looking for. I haven't seen on the website yet. I'm waiting for them to pop up on Big Bad Toy Store, hopefully. Or when I get home, maybe I'll see it on the shelf at Target.
That would be, yeah, there's some of these are still on the shelves here. That wrestling, the 4-pack, when they came out with that new Holothon wave, I think that was the only thing that I wanted and the only thing I got out of it. Just because I never even read those Archie comics, but I'm gonna just share my screen here so you guys know exactly what we're talking about. To our millions and millions of fans out there who are
Every
not
time you say millions and millions of fans, I think of The Rock and the millions
millions.
and millions of fans. Finally, the Toy Boys have come back broadcasting internationally.
So
What
for those
toy
of you
do you want? It doesn't matter what toy you want. Sorry.
No, it's all good. I understand tangents. I go on them all the time. So these are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is when they are in a wrestling federation. I think it's on like a different planet, right?
Yeah, I remember the comic that it happened in.
Yeah, this is like the Sukati episode of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I guess you could say. So really nice looking figures. I love the fact that this comes with this folded chair, just like any other. You need a folded chair in wrestling, obviously. Sledgehammer, got some other kind of great accessories that look fantastic here. Um, yeah, this just looks great. But
Actually, it's not from the cartoon, it's from the comic book, the Archie
yeah, from the
comic.
comic books. It's yeah. So
Yeah.
if you're looking at this like, oh, I grew up with the cartoon and I don't remember this, it's not from the cartoon. These are actually from the Archie comics. So it's funny that you bring up NECA, Avery, because I wanted to talk about some NECA drama actually that's been going on. There's been a lot of rumors for the last couple of months that NECA is being removed from Target and maybe that partnership is going to end and they're going to replace that shelf space with something else, maybe even just Funko Pops.
I
Which
wouldn't be surprised. Target is really, in my opinion, humble opinion, Target isn't what it used to be 2 years or 3 years ago. They've gotten rid of most of the physical media like DVDs and stuff. For surprisingly, they've increased vinyl records. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
if they did do that, I wouldn't be totally surprised
certainly.
because it kind of reminds me of how like FYE and certain stores that were selling music all of a sudden switched over to geek paraphernalia,
Yeah.
heavy and less on music
Yeah.
or
Well,
movies. Even not Circuit City, dang. Best Buy is selling NECA figures and stuff and different things. I'm like, since when did Circuit City tell toys? But they've been doing it at least the last 5, 6 years, and they've kind of increased a little bit. So
I'm telling
I
you,
hope they don't do that
like
because then it's like, where am I gonna buy this stuff
Yeah.
at?
like that
I kind of like to look at stuff in the store, not just off of uh, a website and not be able to really take a look at it myself in person.
Yeah. 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 What were you saying, Eric?
anytime I go to Target and look at the NECA section, it's like a complete mess. Like
Yes.
the
That's how,
figures
yeah.
are all over the place. They're just shoved in there. What's funny is before COVID, I don't know if you guys knew this, but NECA had this ambassador program where you
Yeah,
could
they
Yep.
like,
still have it. It still exists. Yeah.
does it still exist?
I was an ambassador for about 2 weeks. That lasted about 2 weeks.
I was an ambassador for a good year or two because there was a Target that was right on the way home from the office, and so I only had to go once a week, and I wanted to go there anyway to see did anything new come in. So I was probably going to be there anyway, so I would go in and God, every time the place was a mess. I had to straighten up the shelf, and I'm very OCD anyway, so I kind of enjoyed it getting it all nice and straightened up and everything. And then I did win a few gift cards a few times because you had these random drawings. But then when COVID happened and I was working from home, I was like, I'm not going to drive, make a special trip, a half hour away and back just to do that. So
Was this
I
the Target at the Gensler Commons?
no, it was the Staples Mill one was the one that was available. Somebody else already had
Yeah.
Virginia
Oh,
Center.
okay, the Staples Mill one.
I wanted the Virginia Center one because that would have been a lot closer.
Yeah, that's the one I thought. That's right down the street from me.
Yeah, I would have. I after when COVID happened, and then I was stuck at home, and I still wanted to do it. And I asked them, "Can I switch to that location so that it's closer?" And they said that one's already taken. So sorry.
Mhm.
So
Um,
Eric, you know
so
what
that
I
was the end of that.
found that? Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say that was the end of that. I don't know if they ever got an ambassador for the other store, but just to finish up what I was gonna say, I'm really skeptical that they really sold that many. At least of like I know the turtles would always like fly off the shelves,
Yeah.
but I felt like it was the same freaking like horror and music related figures that were there forever. Like the Freddys and the Jasons and all that. Just they never seem to sell. I just seem to be
Hmm.
basically straightening up the same boxes like every week.
Yeah.
And so that to me would be the reason why they're dropping them is like this stuff just doesn't sell
It
because the
just shelf space. Yep.
people going into Target for like toilet paper and stuff, they're not going in there for toys as much. And most of us collectors, we're buying stuff from Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store.
Yeah.
That's just the way it's going. And I hear you. Like I would like I do miss the toy hunts, and I think we had a whole episode where we talked about that.
So
Um,
the question, the ambassador program, I'm not familiar with that. What?
So what would happen is if there was an available Target New Year that did not already have an ambassador, you could sign up to be the ambassador. And what that meant was you would go once a week. They had specific days. I think it was like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever. And you would go in, you would straighten out the shelves with all the NECA items. You would make it look nice, take a photo, send it to them.
Oh,
And then that was a way for them to kind of keep everything looking good. And then that would enter you every week into winning Target gift cards so that you
wow.
could go back and like spend that, Target gift card on those NECA items or whatever you wanted. So it was just kind of I don't know. It's one of those things where like, oh, this is kind of a good idea. And then I remember doing it a couple of times and I'm like, I already am sick of this. So so Eric stuck with it a lot longer than I did. But what's crazy about NECA and I don't know, the reputation's kind of going down the drain right now. So months ago, you know how pre-orders go. You've got something that goes up for pre-order, you spend money on it, it comes 8, 9, 10, 11 a year later, months later, you know, whatever, sometimes 2 years later. So NECA stuff usually has like an 8 to 10 month turnaround. So that's what happened with Donatello. They had a lab that they put together. Donatello's lab is part of a diorama, and you know, you waited 8 months, 10 months for your pre-order, whatever the situation was. They mailed them out. They shipped them. We got them. It took a while, but there were some folks who were still waiting on theirs. It turns out that what was happening was NECA, due to a shipping error on their part, they were shipping double layers to some people, and these are made to order items, right? So if you're shipping a significant number of these to people who didn't, or double to people who didn't order them, that means the other people who did order them and paid money for them didn't get them. So NECA sent an email saying, hey, you know that extra lab we sent you months ago? We need you to send it back. We're going to give you a label to send it back. And because we're such nice guys, we're going to give you a $100 credit. So like for the store, which kind of makes sense, it's like a $300 item and they're giving you a $100 credit. So it kind of depends on how honest you are, you know what I mean, as a human being. But then that was almost followed up with an immediate threat that was like, if you don't send this back to us, you will be banned from ever ordering from NECA again. And it just and also with a threat of, we will charge you for that second lab, even though they sent it to you by mistake. You know what I mean?
That's illegal.
You didn't authorize a second transaction. Um,
I didn't know all
yeah,
that
the right
happened.
thing to do
That's
is send it
illegal.
back. So what do you guys do? Because this has been, I've been sitting on this
Jeez.
for a while, for like the last month as all this has been coming out, because I couldn't believe my eyes and my ears seeing these screenshots or these emails. So what do you guys, Avery and Eric, you probably order more NECA than maybe even I do. So how do you guys feel about it?
Well, I heard about this happening and I watched this whole conversation unfold on Twitter.
Yeah.
And you know, the people who were like, "Well, your mistake, ha ha ha," you know, I guess I'll sell it on eBay. You know, I guess at my root, I'm a mostly honest person, so I probably would have called them and been like, "You sent me two. Like, I hope you're not going to charge me for this." And then they would have said, "They'll send it back." We would have worked it out. You know, I wouldn't have just said, "Oh, I got lucky. I won the lottery here," and kept it. But um, the threats, though, I mean, they can't. One of the guys responded. He had looked up like the
The
statute
actual
law,
yeah.
and he's
Right.
like, "That's illegal. Like
It is.
you did not order this, and you did not, you know, ask to be charged. They can't just suddenly charge you for something you didn't order, and they can't force you to mail it back." So I really think they should have just taken their losses,
Yep.
and they could have said that the people that didn't get them, they could have said, "We're sorry. We're gonna have to make another run. You know, we're
Yeah.
gonna have to." We'll figure out how many we need to make and we'll make them. And yeah, it'll be another 6 months or whatever, but, and then give those people $100 credit, you know, as an apology, like for making
Hmm.
them wait so freaking long, because it's already ridiculous that you have to wait almost a year to get these things from them. So
Yeah,
that's
we
my,
actually have sorry, Eric, I didn't mean to interrupt you. We just
no,
had,
that's my opinion. I was just saying.
it's all good. We have a commenter on our video right now. This is My Figure Universe. And if you don't currently follow My Figure Universe on social media, make sure you check those guys out. They post a lot of amazing stuff. And we always really appreciate when their support and when they repost our stories and everything like that, especially when it comes to the sale Star Trek toys. But they actually just mentioned, I know a person in particular that went through this with NECA. He's been a longtime fan and purchaser of their items, and left a very bad taste in his mouth about it. So I don't know anybody personally that this has happened to, but I have seen those posts on social medias. I'm part of a couple of those NECA groups where somebody's like, I didn't get my lab because of this, or somebody's like, I got two labs, I'm gonna send it back because it's the right thing to do, or I got two labs, I'm gonna keep it because they sent it to me. You know what I mean? I've also seen the posts from people who were like, I just got my lab. Thank you to whoever mailed yours back to NECA because then they were able to ship it to me. So, kind of seeing that whole process play out over the last a month plus has been kind of wild. Avery, what about you, man? What are your thoughts on this?
I basically agree with everything that Eric said. I probably did the same thing. Now, I do agree also them making threats and things of that nature that was kind of out of line and that was out of pocket.
Definitely.
So I don't think that's good at all. But to kind of segue back to what we were talking about, like with the whole ambassador program in the
Yeah.
stores. I don't know. I was in Northern Virginia, like when Haulathon was happening, stuff was clearing out. Like literally stuff was clearing out during
Yeah.
Haulathon. The first two or first, I know I was there for the first Haulathon and things of that nature. But what I wanted to say real quick is in regards to the Target store, they're starting to not put the stuff in the collectors area. They'll put it on like a random shelf in the toy area.
Yeah,
So
sometimes an
I've
end
gone
cap
to
or something.
Seen
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
yeah, and you'll see like a whole crap ton of stuff sitting over there. So I've had to learn to go look there. Then sometimes during Haulathon, they would put stuff on the end cap
Yeah.
too. But all targets aren't created and equal.
Yeah.
So I'd be sitting there
Yeah.
going to like several targets between Northern Virginia and Richmond, and I'd have to sit there and like basically case the entire store dang near just to figure out where the NECA stuff was at sometimes, or the Haulathon items were. So, but this is why we need a centralized toy store. We don't have these problems.
True. Whenever I hear Walmart exclusive or NECA or Target exclusive, everybody kind of rolls their eyes because they're like, oh, we know what this is going to be like. This is going to be a nightmare, and sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. It is all kind of part of the toy hunt. And I feel like maybe this Haulathon was NECA trying to correct themselves a little bit because I think they sent out those 4 packs, those wrestling 4 packs. There were some targets where I saw literally 8, 10, 12 of those on the shelves. Where, like, when you look at Turtle in Disguise, they were sending like 2 of those out to targets. You know what I mean? So I do feel like NECA is trying to correct maybe kind of that error of not sending enough out. They might actually be sending too much out now because those wrestling 4 packs, I've been seeing them still at Targets all over the place for months now.
But you got to think
Um,
how many cartoon 4 packs are there? There's a
yeah,
lot. There's like at least 4 to 6 cartoon 4 packs. Then
yeah,
there's
yeah,
several movies 4 packs, but you get the movie stuff at Walmart. And I kind of don't like that where if I want to get movie Ninja Turtle toys in person, I got to go to Walmart. If I want anything cartoon or Mirage related, I got to
yeah,
go to uh uh Best Buy or Target.
yeah,
And you have to do that the divide. It's just kind of crazy.
yeah.
So
It drives a lot of people nuts, man. It does. Jared, what are your opinions on this NECA travesty, this controversy that we're
Yeah, and the first thing that comes to mind, it's like, well, what a way to sour your client base,
100%.
you
Yeah,
know?
I think it's going to hurt them more than anything. But yeah,
I mean, yeah, that with that type of reputational damage, I'm sure there are definitely people out there that have been loyal buyers that are now like, I'll never buy from them again. I mean, so
oh,
yeah,
there's another thing I want to add too. You can
yeah,
just be patient and wait. It'll end up showing up on Big Bad Toy Store. I found that out too. Like I literally waited like a year and a half, and then something I missed, and then it popped. I was like, oh, like even a couple. I think the Prey action figure from the Haulathon ended up showing on Big Bad Toy Store. I'm like, oh, I'll just get it here. It's on pre-order, but some of the stuff that was on Haulathon ended up eventually showing up on Big Bad Toy Store, and I just waited. That
that's
how's
happened
the
to
the
me with a Transformers 3 pack of the Seekers. They had bought out before Transformers that show that was on Netflix during the pandemic.
oh
The
yeah,
3 pack came out in 2019, but then when the show came out, that thing jumped to $300. But then like a year and a half later, they released it on Big Bad Toy Store, and people were like jumping through hoops trying to pay for that 3 pack, and then it ended up getting re-released later. And I was like, oh wow, So if you're patient enough, the trade continuum, or like Nog said, it'll just reappear later. So
How's the markup typically though? Like just in general, is it usually like so after it runs and it's
when it
the
gets
run is
sold out, that's when stuff gets ridiculous.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I
there
think
was a
big bad
four.
toy stores like buying up some stock that they're finding somewhere. I don't know if they're necessarily Hasbro's making more to give to them because they'll get them, but then they won't have them for very long. It's kind of a comes and goes. I don't know. I'd be curious to know what their relationship is with
Yeah.
Hasbro because it has happened a bunch of times. So it's like, where are they finding these?
That is, yeah. Well, I feel like if you go to Big Bad Toy Store right now and you look for like G.I. Joe classified, you can find quite a few on there that are basically like on clearance and like even like 50% off almost.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean maybe that's how, I don't know. Maybe that's how that's going. I'm not sure. Um yeah, man, I don't know. It makes me worried for companies like NECA. Like, are they gonna survive this? Maybe. Is it gonna hurt them a lot? Yeah. Like you can't, I don't know. Just between the shipping errors, threatening your customers, it just seems like too much. Um, and things are already tough enough right now. You know what I mean? Things already cost too much, and and they're already losing customers. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is very much like um their biggest brand for sure. And now that they're running out of movie figures to release, they're running out of cartoon figures to release. It feels like their sales are just going to drop off, but I don't know. I mean, I wish them the best, but it's rough. Things are rough out here, Pony.
Well, I'm
Um,
hoping they re-release the cartoon Shredder because I got into the cartoon Turtles late and I went ahead and got the street scene diorama that they released.
yes, yeah, it was
Uh,
like $150. Yeah, which was surprising
yeah.
that they re-released it at the original retail price. Yeah,
Yeah, so I missed a lot of these things before, so I was like,
yeah,
oh, I I'm never gonna like a completionist when it comes to a lot of things. And cartoon turtles, I didn't watch the whole series when I was a kid. I think I
yeah,
kind of aged out of it when it was in the middle of it. So I really just want the turtles, the core characters, Rocksteady, Bebop, Shredder, Krang, a few of the other Norma or whatever, the other human characters that came along, and then I'm good. Yeah, I don't need all of the other variations and everything.
yeah,
And so when I saw that street scene diorama, I was like, oh, that would be perfect. I'll
yep,
probably have about 15 figures
yeah,
total. And they'll all fit on that diorama in this one
yep,
spot I got picked out already in the guest room, and it's going to go there. Which my wife jokes like, no one's ever going to want to stay in this guest room because they're going to go in there and they're going to be creeped out. You got like the 3D aliens poster, this like weird glowing egg and all these other creepy things in there. No one's gonna be able to get to sleep in there. So
everybody wants to sleep in the toy room. Everybody wants to sleep with the Ninja Turtles. So that's. I think your
Hey,
wife is.
Eric, if
yeah, I
someone
think
does sleep in there, make sure you pat them down when they leave and check their
Yeah,
suitcase. So nothing
100%.
disappears.
Yeah, you
I
need like a
will. I
wand,
will.
but for like plastic. Like, yeah.
I'm just running out of rooms. I mean the office, which is the toy room, is full. So I'm like, what other rooms can I, you know,
Hey,
can
you
I?
might need to invest in a barterminium.
Yeah, but yeah, that's actually, it's not a bad idea. Just have to get like a mother-in-law suite, like some kind of like a she shed or something.
A he
For
shed,
your toys.
a he shed,
Or
he
Yeah, the he
shed.
shed. Yeah, yeah.
or maybe like I don't know if you guys watch Mad Men, but Don Draper had like an apartment downtown where he would take his women. I could get like another apartment somewhere, and that's where
Where
the
you just take your toys.
yeah.
Your wife's like, "You're cheating on me." No, I'm not. Yes,
It's
you
not what you
are.
think. Yeah.
Oh my God. Um, so do we have any Ghostbusters fans in here? I'm asking because I saw that HasLab had that um
The Ecto
set
One.
up. Eric, I don't know if you checked it out. It was like, I think it was Ghostbusters 2 kind of a vibe, or I think you could switch it out for
Oh,
Ghostbusters. Both,
Yeah,
right?
it was both. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the four Ghostbusters plus Lewis Tully had a couple different ghosts with it, I think, and then Ecto One, right? Or
Yeah.
Ecto Two if you want to do the second. Yeah, yeah.
I
So did
thought
you
it was it three and three quarters or was it
3 3/4? It was 3 3/4 scale, yeah.
okay. Because I a few months before I had pre-ordered this 3 3/4 inch scale Ecto one that was just like $60.
Oh, okay.
And so when I saw the HasLab come out, I was like, do I need this? I don't think I do. I just there's only so much budget, there's only
No,
so much.
yeah.
So I
Yeah,
was kind of like, this is a HasLab I'm gonna have to skip. So
yeah. I was very close to pulling the trigger on it. And
go find it.
I don't know, it was a little I'm trying to find good photos of it so I could share so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But some of I don't know. But when I look at the close-ups of the face, and maybe it's just the scale, you can only get so detailed with that 3 3/4 size. Maybe that's kind of I don't have any regrets about not ordering it, about not pre-ordering it, I should say. I just really liked how kind of complete this one set was in terms of like
Oh
Ecto
yeah.
One or Ecto Two from kind of how you see it in the second Ghostbusters movie. You got all the packs, plus you've got all the stuff from the second movie as well. There's just a lot of really cool accessories and figures here. There's a couple of ghosts in the back. You got Slimer chilling back there. So that was a really close pre-order for me. But what I did order was the Mondo, the Peter Venkman. I don't know if you guys saw that. Peter Venkman
I
and
saw that.
Sam Hain.
I saw that. Peter
Yeah.
Venkman.
You share that?
Yeah, I'm working on it. Give me just a second. I thought I had it open, but maybe I closed it by accident. I did see that Chris was awake, and he's been awake for a little bit, but I think he's having issues joining us. I think he's running into some technical problems, just like I am now, actually, because why is this not doing the one thing that I want it to do?
Oh, wait, there's one thing I am pissed about. Mondo did like a time release Batman Beyond. Within 2 hours it was gone.
It was time released, and it was
Like, well, it was like a timed edition, I guess, or I
okay,
don't even know if it was timed edition, but
or
they
just like
only had,
limited, yeah, a number, yeah.
yeah, and I didn't know that, and by the time I got to it, it was sold out, and I
I
was
hate that.
kind of upset at
Hmm.
that because I
Yeah.
pretty much have all the Mondo Batman animated series stuff.
Hmm. I hate missing out on stuff like that. Um, oh, here's the Peter Venkman I was talking about with Sam Hain over here. This is 1/12 scale. I think it looks really great. I was a big fan of this cartoon as a kid, The Real Ghostbusters. Peter comes with this Slimer over here, and then you've got Sam Hain over there on the left. I know I've told you guys this before, but a couple of years ago I got burned on a custom toy maker who was supposed to make me a 3D printed Sam Hain that looked fantastic, and he never came through on it. And he disappeared, and he ripped a lot of people off. So it will be nice to have a Sam Hain figure. Well, well, well. Look.
Who's trying to enter?
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna get him. He's coming. He's here.
By the way, that HasLab, I just looked it up, Chad. It
Yeah.
is 6 inch. It was 6 inch scale.
Was 6 inch?
Yeah, that's why it was 300 something.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, yeah.
that
I
was
don't know why I thought it
like
was 3 3/4 too. Huh.
yeah, because this one I was holding up on the screen, it's a small box, and this is 3 3/4, and it was like $60. So
Oh, I got you.
Hmm.
That does make sense. That
does
makes sense.
justify the price a little bit. It must have been really huge. Yeah, it's
So wait,
just
did you get two Ectos with that? If you would have got
Well,
it?
it just comes, you get one Ecto, but then it comes with the parts to make the one from the second movie as well. So if
Oh,
you want
got
to
you, got
display
you.
it as if it was the second movie, you could do that too. Well, there he is, everybody.
Hello.
All
Hi.
finals.
wakey wakey.
Good morning, Christopher. I don't know if we can hear you. Are you okay? Is your
Nice.
microphone on?
Is he wrong?
Looks like he's muted.
Yeah, he's muted.
Yep. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yep.
man.
Good.
Looking good. You all right?
Yep.
We were just talking about some Ghostbusters related things. We were talking about the drama with NECA when it came to sending out Donatello labs and then asking people to send them back and then threatening people for not sending them back. So that's kind of where we just left off. So
That's where
what's going on in your toy world, Chris? I know that you've got a recent obsession that you've been messaging us about.
I just had to go to the post office right now and send some stuff back to NECA because they were threatening me. So that's
Oh,
why I'm
that's
late.
why you're late. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. NECA was gonna break my legs if I didn't send back Donatello.
They dangle like they're dangling over the railing. Suge
Hey,
Knight
Chris, you're gonna
style.
be wearing cement shoes. Hey.
They told me they were gonna make my 2025 very miserable if Donnie's lab didn't show up by tomorrow.
So you had to overnight it.
He woke up and saw a cut off Donatello head in his bed. Like, oh,
I just imagine like Chris, who broke your thumbs? Nobody, man. Don't ask me. Don't ask me about. Don't
It was
worry.
an accident.
It was yeah.
I
I fell in
fell.
the shower and I broke my thumbs.
Yeah,
Um,
so
yeah,
I've been recently gotten addicted to like GI Joe Classified, like full on.
yeah. I
Well,
don't
how
think you
did
heard
you
about
get
that. Why don't you-
hooked
yeah.
onto that? What the heck turned you to that?
But yeah, it's awesome. It's an awesome line.
Well, I think Avery was curious what made you pull the trigger on classifieds after all this time.
No, I always kind of wanted to pick up a few here and there, but I knew, I didn't want to pick up another line of figures. And it was just, I knew it was going to be another thing. Um, but I just feel like collecting like the legends right now for me is kind of died off a little bit.
Gotcha.
I mean, I'll still collect them, but there's just nothing coming out right now that I really want.
Yeah.
Maybe a few things here and there, but like, you know how it is right now with collecting, where everyone just kind of it's the waiting game, where people just wait for things to just go on clearance, or
Yeah.
they can get it on sale, or if it's just something that's just so mass produced, it's like there's a good chance you can get it later. So, um, I just haven't been picking them up, but I think the whole my collecting kind of slowed down. Besides like the Exo 6 stuff, that's the stuff I'm really excited about. But yeah, I bought one figure. I bought one figure that I got a deal on Outback, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I got them for cheap, and then I started buying another figure and another figure, another figure, and now I'm like totally addicted.
I gotcha. Yeah, it's also really impressive that Outback is both a GI Joe and a steak house. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's that's not a common feat. It's
yeah. I mean, it's a no rules, just right action
yeah.
figure. That's my favorite part about it.
Hey
So
Chris, good thing you didn't get into it because then you might have wanted to get in on those HasLabs because they did a Sky
oh,
Striker.
yeah.
He's gonna get them. Don't you
His
worry.
tank.
He's
Man,
looking for them already.
I'm already trying to get on all those right now.
Oh, like the
man.
aftermarket, you're trying to find them?
Yeah, but I mean, I've already waited this long, so it's like I'm not like right now where I'm at the point where I have to have it, like right now. So I mean, I've already found a bunch of good deals out there and stuff. There were times where I just didn't have, that money, or I most recently I messaged the guy too late because the price was so low. I was just like, oh no, this isn't like the full HasLab, but it was, and I messed up, dude. So
Hate that. Hate missing out.
yeah,
You messed up,
you gotta
hey,
you have to
the one you got
communicate
away.
with people, man. Like I don't like you, in your mind, you're probably thinking like, oh, I'm not gonna message this guy. He's gonna knock down if I send an offer or something like that. But you never know,
Yeah.
man, because I just came up like this guy had a lot of figures, and I was like, hey, would you be willing to split it up? And most guys don't split up lots, but this guy was super cool, and yeah, so I was able to get a couple of rare figures, and then I noticed he was selling a bunch of other rare things, so I started talking to him about that, and
Very nice. I
yeah.
don't know if we have any. I don't know if we have any Mego collectors in the group, but did I see that Mego is getting back into the Marvel action figure game? Did you guys see this? They're going to be selling them in. Do you guys have a Disney Springs out there in California, Chris? Is that what you guys?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, all right. I just wasn't sure because we call it Disney Springs here, but it's changed names a couple of times ever since basically my childhood. But apparently,
Yeah.
Disney Springs stores are going to be getting some. And I'm not necessarily a Amigo fan myself, um, but going to be getting some of those Marvel figures. I want to pull it up real quick just so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. I promise this is Star Trek related. Actually, give me just a second. You'll see what I'm talking about here because it's actually these are really cool in that Mego style. You know what I mean? All right, so this is what I'm talking about.
Oh, Mako.
Yeah, the Mego, the classic Mego, those what are they like 8-inch or so figures?
Yeah, it's Migo.
Oh,
Yeah,
Miko.
yeah.
Okay.
So this is how much my brain is attuned to Star Trek. So you see Spider-Man here, he's got his web shooting out. And I was like, why is he shooting it out at the Gorn from Star Trek? Um, but then I don't know if you guys know the story, but the Gorn that they used from the Gorn that the Mego used was this figure, this lizard figure. They just repainted it brown. Um, and they released it as a Gorn. They put clothes on it and they released it as a Gorn. So that was kind of why my brain auto corrected that to thinking that that was a Gorn because they actually reused that sculpt.
Mhm.
Even though the Gorn did not appear to be brown, they made it brown. Um, but yeah, so fun little history fact there for all you for the millions and millions of our fans.
Wee, that was fun.
The more you know.
I think Dez had a question for Chris in the chat.
Des is out here asking questions. What's Des want to know? Gotta be. Are you a completionist, Chris, with your toys? Are you a completionist, Christopher?
Well, um, yeah, some to a certain degree, I guess. I like to, I like to have a nice group of figures. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I'm not one of those people where I have to have every single character. Um, but I do like to have a lot of the filler characters in there too.
yeah,
It's and it's fun. It's fun to collect. Um, I I will say that I no, I'm not a completionist in certain aspects because I won't just buy every figure just because I have to have every one. Um, and then especially lately, I've been doing that a lot. Is like whittling down and being like, oh well, is this just like a character that maybe it's like a flash in the pan or like something that's not like something timeless or because there's only so much space on yourself, so you need something that's gonna really you're gonna still enjoy like
value. Yeah,
somewhere down the line.
exactly.
Like the
Yeah,
hype's not going to be down from it.
yeah,
So
agreed.
um but yeah, no, I do like to have like a nice I mean, just like on like my Star Trek shelf, I like to have like a lot of them all cluttered up, the way I display them.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think it just looks cool like to have them all together like that. But I don't have to have all of them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm kind of the same way. I'm not a completionist, certainly not by the definition, but I call myself an almost completionist. Like I'm gonna want most of it, probably,
Yeah.
and there's gonna be some exceptions. Like when it came to Star Trek Playmates toys, I did not need Riker as a Malkorian from that figure that or from that episode You Enjoy First Contact where he has alien relations with what's her name from Cheers.
Cheers.
But
So would you say that you like to edge yourself to completion in collecting?
what? What I like to do what to completion?
To edge yourself to the completion of the set.
I skew that way. Yes.
Excellent.
Say that. Yeah, I definitely skew that way in terms of completion. But I'm getting a warning here from producer Aaron, so probably time about to wrap it up. So let's jump to our pick of the podcast, so that we can show off some stuff that we've gotten recently, some stuff we might want to let the world know about, just some stuff we might have gotten that was cool. I will go first just to kick things off. I got this from my Secret Cisco and Star Trek watch party. My background's going to kind of ruin this real quick. This is a stuff from Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's a little bot. Her name was Lola. It's a cool little. I haven't busted this open yet, but this is a cool little toy that Andy sent me. Andy Holt, the man, sent me. And the next item I want to show off real quick was another Christmas gift I got, and I know how we all feel about Funko Pops. I know how we all.
Love them, have all of them.
No, none of us like them. By and large, none of us like them. However, I do like these little bitty tiny baby bitty pops, these itty bitty pops, whatever these bitty pops is what they're called. So these are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and there's like 12 of them here. And one thing that I've seen collectors do that I might do is they'll put these bitty pops in the hands of their action figures. So it's like their action figure has an action figure of itself to play with. So I might end up doing that as well to have like my toy has its own toy. If that makes sense.
But then your figure wouldn't have an action figure; it would have a Funko Pop.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, and I realize that that's an inferior toy, but like my toy has a toy. You know what I mean? So like a toy of itself.
Got it.
So we're not, again, not huge Funko Pop fans around here, but I did think this was really cute. It was a great Christmas gift.
I think they're cute.
Yeah, these little tiny things are cute, and it's gonna go for my office for sure. Eric, did you have anything you wanted to? I'm gonna pretend like that. Didn't.
Yeah.
Anything you wanted to show off today? My God!
Oh, look at that.
Holy
Oh
missiles!
my God!
Like a Cobra with sidewinders and
We could take that to war right now. Oh, and it lights up.
nice.
Oh, snap.
Yeah,
Cockpit lights up and
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
that's out of control. Oh, was that a HasLab? I'm guessing.
Yeah, the one that just arrived a few weeks ago.
Dope.
First turn. Yeah,
My
it's got
friend ordered that.
you can
Wow.
take apart. You can swap out like these different armaments. There's a few on the floor I haven't. This is the ones I just decided to put on at first. There's a winch, a working winch. So
Oh, wow.
comes with a display stand so that it can be like it's like a clear stand so that it can be like in flight
Very cool.
with your other toys. So
That's amazing.
Wow.
yeah, this is I hope you can find one, Chris, for a good price because this one's definitely worth getting. Love it.
Jared, what about you? You got something you'd like to show off?
I do not have anything with me, unfortunately.
It's all
Surprise!
Christopher Root. Chris, what do you have? What do you? Here we go.
Well, I don't have much that I haven't like opened any official gifts yet. Any Christmas gifts?
Well, you just anything you got, anything you found.
Okay, I got
Somewhere.
that MF Doom figure, the Super 7 one.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Also got this other little reaction super oh no, that's the Biker Mice Super 7 figure. I got this freaking this Doctor Who figure. The articulation and the sculpting on this figure are awesome. It's for the size, it's pretty awesome.
That looks great. Yeah.
Nice.
Who makes that?
I think it's called Characters or something, but they make like all the other Doctor Who figures, but usually like the Doctor Who figures are kind of like really crappy quality. The articulation sucks. They don't really look like the character. This one has really good articulation. This one looks just like him. The paint's really good. This is like a really good figure.
Nice.
Um, but I mean, and yeah, GI Joe Classified. I have so many GI Joe Classified figures that I've been collecting right now.
Are they in that case behind you?
Not in the case behind me.
Oh, we're getting to see the rest of the
You're gonna
room.
walk.
I
I
don't know
know
if
what
you
that
guys
room
can.
looks like. I've been there.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's
Nice.
it's getting thick.
Oh,
Packing them in.
Rest in peace, Duke. Got stabbed in the heart with a cobra.
yep.
The G.I. Joe movie.
Gonna be okay.
In the American version, he's fine. In the Japanese version, though, rest in peace. Very cool. Oh,
So
very nice.
yeah,
Very nice.
there's a bunch of new stuff in there, but
Yeah. You didn't get the Picard, right? The Exo-6 Picard?
no, he'll probably be here next week. I don't know. It's hard to figure out the tracking
I
and
got you. Yeah, so you did order it,
Oh,
though.
yeah.
That's my real
yeah,
question.
yeah, I ordered it. It should be
Sweet.
here.
Cool.
I'm trying not to like look at the tracking so much because I
Yeah.
just want to just forget about it and then just show up.
With Exo-6, I feel like you got to forget about it. Mine will sit in New York for weeks, and then all of a sudden it'll just be here.
Usually,
For some reason, it's in
usually,
LA right now. I don't know why.
usually it's pretty quick and it's really easy to understand, but like this last one has been kind of difficult. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah. Well, I think, didn't you say yours is in Chicago and mine's in LA? So it's
yeah,
kind
it's been in Chicago for like 3 or 4 days. So I'm kind of
That's
like,
weird.
I'm not gonna worry about it.
Yeah, I got you. Avery, you got anything you came upon recently that you want to show off?
My stuff is. I started packing because I'm about to come back to the States.
Yeah.
But I do know that my Star Trek Lower Decks Mondo statues, they shipped. I don't know if they delivered to my, I don't know whose house they're going to, if they're going to my dad's or to my friends while I'm gone. I know those shipped. So looking forward to seeing those bad boys. And like I said earlier, I ordered the Cage Spock EXO6 figure. And then I missed out on the doggone Batman Beyond. That one I'm a
Yeah.
little slow on, but we'll see
So
how
the
that.
the lower decks figures you're talking about, that's the ones they did with with Exo-6, right? It was like a
Yeah.
partnership.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine actually came, I don't know, it's been probably a month or so. It's been a little
Did
bit.
you order yours from EXO6? I got mine from the Mondo website.
I got mine from Exo-6. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that might be why you're getting yours a little bit quicker because I got mine from the Mondo website.
Yeah, it always takes a lot longer with third party stuff, but just a quick look at what Avery's talking about. Mine are actually, I would go get them, but they're in the other room and I'd have to stop what we're doing here.
And I do have some Funko Pops that I bought since I've been here.
Oh, nice. Cool. All right, gentlemen. Well, that just about wraps up another podcast here from the ToyBoyz. Thanks for joining. What's up, Chris? What's up? What happened?
I want to show off some GI Joe Classified that I
Okay.
just pulled
Aaron
off
says
my
you have
shelf.
2 minutes to do it.
All right, I will. I'll do it real quick.
All
Okay,
right.
so since Eric has done a terrible job of trying to show everyone how cool GI Joe Classified is, I'm gonna do a quick little thing. Check out Snow Job. Look how sick he is. Look, all his gear fits on his
Oh,
backpack,
nice.
just like
Actually,
when we were kids. All his gear is on his backpack. How cool is that,
that is very cool. You're right.
dude? So
Dude.
cool.
That is very cool.
Look at this guy. What's his name? Shrapnel
Scrap-
something?
Scrap iron.
Scrap iron. Thank you. Scrap iron.
Yeah.
Very cool. Look at this scar he has on his face.
Chris
So
will-
cool. He
Yeah.
comes with this sick freaking thing.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
And it has all these really cool like firing missiles and stuff that you could use. So yeah, another really cool thing Eric never showed us.
Well, nobody else was into it. I didn't think you guys cared.
Yeah.
I got
Dude, you
his
have to
tank.
sell it. You have to sell it.
That's yeah.
And then, dude, this retro Duke, it's like this is like the original Duke.
Yeah.
It's so cool. The retro card and oh man, this is awesome. And even like the new classified Duke is really cool. It's a cool figure, but this one's so cool too. It's so like it's hard for me to choose which one I like the best because they're both so cool. That's all I gotta say. You know, maybe I'll show some more next time because they're awesome.
I think you should. I think just
Yeah.
little by little, just little bit like and you got to really sell it, just like you just did too. We need to see the
Yeah.
pop-up and everything. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe I'll be known as the GI Code Joe classified guy. You
Yeah.
know?
That's what
Nah,
we're gonna
Yeah.
call you, Chris the
Nah,
I'll
G.
be the G. I could be. Hey, you know what? Call me Flag. Call me Kurt
you're
on
late to
Flag.
the party, pal.
Yeah.
Flag is what we're supposed to call you.
I don't think you can. He's got the USS flag back there, so you got dibs.
He's post Flag, like like Post Malone.
Oh, okay. Now you just flag. Yeah. Oh my God. Anyway, that about wraps up another edition of the Toy Boys podcast. Thanks for joining us live today. Make sure you check out our merch, pick up some merch. We would appreciate that. And on behalf of Eric, Jared, Avery, Christopher, and myself, thank you for joining us. Toy Boys, disassemble.
Yeah.
Fucking save that shit.